So, quick recap. Not very much to recap in terms of major events. You arrived at the gates of Gravenhollow, and you have with you a new party member, along with a escort of a kind-hearted little basilisk who escorted you to the gates of Gauntlgrim. Reaching the gates, I'm sorry, Gravenhollow. I keep saying the wrong one. Once reaching the gates, they led inside to a massive hallway. So, did I share that? There we go. Shared away. So, there would be your actual image for you to take a look at. So, as you came into Gravenhollow, you entered into the area, and I'm going to reread the entrance description. From there, it will be up to you. So before I read this, I just want to reiterate a few things for you guys. Primarily that you have theater of the mind that we're using here. That's number one. Number two is it's really going to be up to you how and where you want to go. And I am going to kind of let you guys play it however you wish. I'm going to scroll over here and get my light on. Let me shut this door. Tasha's sleeping. So, the description is as you walked across the threshold into the area of Gravenhollow, you crossed into almost an area that felt like another realm. The oppressive gloom of the Underdark was replaced with light and a sense of openness that bring back memories of the surface world. The corridors beyond the gate were wide enough for 10 people to walk side by side, and the ceiling's height was soaringly above you. The corridors led along columned walkways to a central well that went both down and up. And then there were walkways that spanned to the opposite side, or you could walk across. And you could barely see the ends. It's an unusual thing. As you look down the hallway that went to your left and right, you can't necessarily see the ends. They seem to end, but not in a manner that you can identify. It's almost bending space, it seems, in a strange manner. But you can see doors opening to the left and right. But just as far as you can see, there's more doors than you could probably explore if you were given free reign for a very long time. You, after taking a look around, found a small creature of rocky nature detach itself from the wall, stepping out of the stone, leaving an imprint of his body. And then the wall itself smoothed back over, the imprint vanishing. I'm going to skip the actual voice modifier I used because it was difficult to understand. And he said, "Travelers, I am Horum. The masters are occupied. There are rooms for all of you. You may choose your own. The resources of the Gravenhollow Library are at your disposal. You need only ask." And with that, the Galabdur, as he is called, stands by. I will resend the picture for those of you who would like to see a Galabdur once I pull him up and for the recording. So he stands by as if to wait to answer any questions you may have and things of that nature. This entire area is very peaceful. Here is your Galabdur. Some of you already uh, might recall it, but close it when you're done, if you so desire. So you've been granted access to the library. At this point, it's up to you to ask questions that you want to ask, get the answers, and do the research of your desire. So I will the Galabdur Horum is standing by, awaiting your questions and providing any assistance or guidance that you desire.
Now I know Karzakar sent us on a task to find out something about some type of engine. What type of engine will we were? What we? I'm sorry. Train of thoughts all over the place here.
It was a proper noun. It wasn't a
Yes,
type of engine. It was a proper noun called the maze engine.
that's it. That was. So yeah, I speak up and I ask the Gale of Dirt on any type of information, any type of resource, books, scrolls, tomes, whatever about the maze engine, because that's our primary purpose to be here. And Cat, I'm sorry, I'm trying to eat dinner here at the same time. My cat decides that she kind of wants to have a bite of my pizza. So
I don't know if I would say that that's your primary reason for being here, but I feel like it's somebody's primary reason. But the Galabdur shakes its head before saying, that is not how the library works. The library is a receptacle of knowledge from the past, the present, and the future. You will need to use a stone speaker crystal to access the magically stored knowledge the librarians have kept and gathered in the form of visions.
okay, so where can we get one of those? Where can we get one of those?
You may speak to one of the librarians tomorrow after you rest, or you may explore the library if you wish.
Spirit just gives a respectful bow and thanks him for his information.
What else?
Looking around, I don't know if I missed this, but are there bookshelves here or no?
There are not. So it seems
So
to just be long hallways with doors.
okay, I see. Okay. So let me get this straight. There are no books here
The
aside
knowledge
from the
of
ones
the
we brought.
librarians is stored on stone tablets and accessed through stone speaker crystals. You may read the tablets if you wish.
Oh,
Grave,
that's good.
Gravenhollow operates on a universal understanding. You will be able to read and understand all written and spoken languages.
Oh, how does that work? And
Yes.
Nyx is now pulling out parchment and quill to like note this down.
It is the nature of the library.
I see. Okay. That wasn't very helpful, but thank you. And where are the tablets kept?
The tablets are kept in their respective records room, the archive of the past, the archive of the present, or the archive of the future.
I see.
The Galabdur stands patiently awaiting any questions or requests that you may have. He seems as patient as the earth, happy to sit and allow you guys to think and ask any questions you may have.
What the? Of the future, you said?
The
Okay.
archive of the future is run and managed by Yustova's prophetic writings. You may attempt prophetic visions of the future if you desire.
That's so to see. We could see how the demons are defeated, and then just do that.
He
Yes?
doesn't seem to react to that. Not
I'll look
saying
at-
yes or no. He doesn't seem to see or sense a question.
I'll look at Roland. I'll look at Roland. Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, what are you rambling on about?
Well, he says that there is a future library which shows us prophecies of future. So we could just see how the demons lose and then do that.
I was more interested. Yes, but no, I was more interested in seeing the present. But
Well,
if you
why?
see the future, does that not change the future? Unless it was already predetermined that you would look into this book to determine how the I'm going cross-eyed.
Me too. What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean if I see the future? The future is no longer. What?
If you look into the future and know how it plays out, does that not in turn change the future because now you know how it I don't know.
I remember one of my mentors back in Mastika, a rock gnome by the name of Dr. Ovid. He said that to me to imagine time as like a river, and it has many, like a river, it has many divergent branches. One decision causes it to break off into at least two tributaries. One branch where it follows the decisions we made, and the other branch following the decision we didn't. But much like a river, time can be altered, and our actions can cause that river to branch off in a different direction.
So then if we see future,
Then we branch off into a new future.
well, yes, but then so hold. If we see future, yes, if we see path, then we need just follow path.
Doctor.
So perhaps we see one future where demons kill everyone, very sad. Perhaps we see other future where Dranga kill all demon and become new demon queen, also very bad. But perhaps one of the ways we find pathways is the one where demons go back to abyss, and everyone live happily ever after except for Drow. The end.
My
What if
mentor
you-
didn't. mentioned that even a prophetic vision does not equal a for certain future. It is possible that what we might see may come to pass, but it is also very likely that what may transpire may lead to something that we don't want. And we need to be careful about this because the visions that we do see that we don't want passing may just come to pass through our actions trying to prevent it.
I would agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Okay, but one more point, one more thought. Why don't we just look and see? If we don't like, then we make sure to not do what the vision says. If we do like, then we make sure to do what the vision says.
My fucking head hurt.
I would like to see the present. I want to know what happened to the Myconids.
Wouldn't that be the past?
It'd be where they are now. I want to see where they are now. I could also look into the past and see what happened. But I would more like to see where they are now, and then if I need to, I look into the past and see how that happened. If you follow me.
No, I fucking.
Come on, cat, get off me.
Oh, sorry, Spirit. Sorry.
I'm not talking to you.
Then okay then. I would just say, this is good. We are not in rush per se, so we could explore many avenues. Got the thing I would like to know as well, but
unless one of the futures that you looked up required us to look for the future, and then we immediately leave.
Well, then that would be good to know, though, no?
I don't know.
In the words of my mentor, time travel's a bitch.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm still fucking lost.
I would like to know. Maybe I go to future room and ask different questions, and we see how the result goes, and then, right? No?
Okay.
And then if we feel like it was good experience, then we ask a big question about demons.
Okay.
Like I'll ask an easy question, like how do I die? You know?
Oh, that's one.
No, I do not know. Actually, I was being sarcastic. Sorry, comes off bad to back situation. I would like maybe to know if my father ever gets credit for being correct about the location of Thunder. I would like to just ask him someday and like live it, but curiosity and cats.
At
Killed
this, Spirit just kind of stares at Smoke and just says, with the most confident tone of voice, "He will. I will make sure he will."
It's not this, I like. Thank you, Spirit. I've known he was right for a decade. No, maybe I did not have the sword, but like I knew, right? Because he had proof and evidence. But all the fancy mages. No, you're wrong. No, I'm afraid that unless we take sword and like go for a journey and show all the mages prove, that they still would not believe.
Then that's their problem.
Well, it's my dad's problem too, but yeah.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. We can if we bring Dawnbringer before the mages and demonstrate for us, and if they still don't believe it, then we've done all we can. So.
Well, I'd probably have to steal some more stuff then, but.
Fucking taking anything?
No, I mean like from like my normal stealing, like not from the good people of the plains, but from dead people.
Oh,
Grave robbing then.
You mean looting?
Looting is such a harsh word. No, like
I think of it as procurement for the betterment of future generations.
this is why I said they should join. Yes, Nox, well done. Yes, or Adra. I forget you.
Either one works.
No, pretty sure it's not. Pretty sure. Nick?
So Nix, I think it's a very good point you make. Well said, well said. And it makes me think of one more thing we could search. Maybe this is the first thing we all should go look at. If there's one for the present, there is Coach Jerkin.
That is also a good one.
Yeah, Spirit's ears perk up at that. Like, oh right. You can find out what happened to that little guy. Maybe we might be able to find him and rescue him too.
And I'm hesitant to say maybe you want to know exact details, but we could check. I don't even know how this works, but if there's one for the present, like Roland suggests with this intelligence explanation, perhaps there's also a way to check present for families. Just to check on them, like.
Yeah, Spirit does cross her arms again like that, and she kind of like downcast her gaze toward the floor. She fidgets, looking a little uncomfortable. She doesn't say anything, but it is clear that at that mention that she looks very tempted to immediately just depart and look for something like that.
I think maybe whatever we do, we should all do it together because there might be some interpretations to be made. It's good to,
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And the greatest mystery of all. That little fucker stole our shit.
What little fucker stole? Oh, that guy. I know what you're talking about now.
No.
Where is he? This might be what you were talking about. We find this out, we leave immediately to go get him. Right?
He might be dead.
I turned to Dronga and I explained that before she joined, we encountered a rather notorious little thief during our adventures in Gracklestug, who stole some stuff from us. He also had a pair of boots of speed, and he managed to give us the slip more than once. So.
What was his name?
Spirit opens her mouth to answer, pauses, and says, "I'll be damned if I don't remember."
Started with a D.
No, he was a Darrow.
Oh, that's what it was.
His name
No?
was Droki.
I was right.
Droki.
Good job, Roland. Thank you.
I wouldn't happen to know this. Droki.
You do not. He is not known to you. He was a major part of the underworld.
No, don't think I know who you're talking about.
Okay, let's go find out about Droki right now.
Okay, but hold on. What I heard you say is that before I joined, you had a fucking problem. Ever since I've joined, no problem. Well, except for you, Smoke, because that was fucked up. But there was a reason.
And actually, since you joined, we've lost 2 members as well, but...
Wait. We've temporarily misplaced coasters.
Yes.
Not lost.
Okay.
But who
Ophelia
else?
has just been reassigned.
Who the heck is Ophelia? Oh, the...
She was the
Lady
Asimar
with-
who was with us when you originally joined. She was the
Right,
one.
right. She was there for like 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Don't even know where she went.
And then there was that time where you lost me.
Well, okay, so fuck.
Actually, things have gotten pretty bad since you joined us. Come to think, demons everywhere.
Hasn't been
To be fair,
easiest walk.
from your conversations and my understanding, you guys are the ones who fucked up my town and put me out on the run. So it's your fault. And pretty sure that was a fucking demon.
You know, it's true. Actually, I would like also to check history books to see if we are explicitly named as responsible for cultural genocide. This would be
Most
good just to
likely.
clarify.
Most
It
likely.
would be.
Nix, speaking of which,
Most likely,
I think we've already spoken slightly about this, Nix, but what's your opinion on that again?
On the genocide?
Sure, yes.
Well, it wasn't the best thing that could have possibly happened, I don't think.
Oh, okay, but like, you know, Order of the Dawn, responsible, you know, did their best, but, you know, were unable to prevent, you know, what's your thinking of that?
Well, I think that you probably had a hand in keeping it from happening later. Yes, you prevented a future genocide.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's just go right to, okay. Who's Jerkus? Droki. Actually, I'm gonna turn to the stone construct.
Horum.
Yes.
He's actually a sentient creature. He's an elemental, but go ahead.
Oh. Yeah. How many wishes do we get?
Access to the visions is based upon the stone speaker crystal handed out by the librarian.
So, like 3?
Spirits just kind of like reaches up and cuffs him in the back of the head.
No, I just want to. Sorry.
And you said we could see the librarian tomorrow, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
I am to explain the use of the library to you and show you to your quarters. And tomorrow you may see the librarian, but you may wander the library if you wish.
Could you show us where our rooms are, and then we can go wandering? And Nyx like looks at the rest of the group like very hopefully.
Is it like near the end of the day, or how long has it been? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we probably should rest for the night.
Oh.
Oh, you do you, but these old feet, they get tired.
I guess that's fair.
I could use a cat nap.
Movement and navigation within the library is a force of will. To go wandering in the library without an intended direction may find you in places of both interest and lack of. You will need to focus your will upon your desired destination, and it being the library, guide you to your destination.
Is this like a group thing that we have to do together, or we can all go our separate ways?
There is no danger in the library. You may go in any direction alone or with others.
Okay.
And with that, he turns and begins escorting you down one of the side hallways. The hallways are also very large, massive hallways, and as he takes you down, he begins motioning towards various rooms off to the left and right. Some have one bed, some have two, some have entire rooms of barracks, and he is pointing them out for you to choose. If you so wish to be alone, you can take a room with just one bed, or you can take a room with multiple beds and claim that one. It doesn't seem to be a shortage of beds, so essentially you pick whichever room you want and store your stuff.
Dibs! And I run into one of the with two beds. And I go, no one can touch that. For in case Ghost Turkish shows up. And then I plop down on one of the beds.
All right. Presumably, everyone finds a nice room they need. And they desire.
Yep.
And once you guys are settled, the Galabdur essentially walks back into the wall after ensuring there are no further questions. If anybody does have any questions, feel free to throw it.
None so far. None
No,
from
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Nyx.
Questions? I have several questions, just none pertaining to the topic at hand.
Fair enough. So it is towards the end of the day. You can go wandering. You can take a long rest. Well, I will apply a long rest once everyone is essentially finished for the day. So it's gonna be more of a free form role playing if it ever were to be necessary. We can roll initiative, see who goes first, but it's really stay together, spread apart in any form or fashion you desire.
Yeah,
Nice.
pretty much Spirit breaks off from the rest of the group, and she just, thinking on Smoke's earlier suggestion, just focuses on her family to see about anything she can learn about how they're doing currently and how they came to be where they were.
Now, without the Stone Speaker crystal, you're not actually going to be able to access any of the actual visions. What you can do is actually go and read the actual stone tablets, but
That's what she's going to do for right now. She's just, I mean, she'll wait until tomorrow to get the Stone Speaker crystal and do some more investigation on that point. But she just wants to, to read a little bit, as much as she can anyway.
Are you wanting to go to the archives of the past, present, or future?
Archives of the
It won't be able
past.
to take you anything. Okay, so give me a wisdom check.
Oh.
Straight wisdom roll.
Nice.
As you begin, you're walking away from your room. It feels like you have only walked maybe 3 or 4 doors down from where you were, which should be Dronga's room. But as you get a couple steps away, you recognize a large archway, and you said archives of the past, correct?
Yes.
So you actually find yourself standing almost immediately next to the archives of the past. In a strange manner, you're nowhere near your room. The library seeming to bend itself to relocate you to where you wanted to be. And above the door, in dwarven style script of giant runic writing, it reads, "The past is a crystal, for it can be seen from many facets, and yet it always remains the same."
Spirit reads this and just kind of says aloud to herself, sounds something like Dr. O would have said.
So inside the archives of the past, there are numerous rooms. They contain crystals of numerous colors in a variety of shapes and sizes, and there are Galabdur that are tending to them. There are tablets of a variety of sizes, from the size of a couple inches to 10, 20 feet in size. There are also cylinders of crystals and chunks of granite and other things. Some of the records are, stored in niches covered in dust, inches thick. So here you can actually go through and try to find information, but you're going to have to actually go through tablet by tablet, piece by piece, without the stone speaker crystal.
In that case, yeah, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and head back to my room for the night, because she's just not up to really going through that at this hour of the day.
Okay. Is anybody else wanting to go wandering?
Can Nyx just aimlessly wander?
You can.
Smoke too.
Okay.
Dronga has a purpose.
Aimlessly wander alone, and I missed what Dronga was doing.
Gonna go to the present room.
Sure. Give me a wisdom check.
Oh, right. Oh. Hey!
And it takes you a little longer as you start to navigate. It seems still shorter, but you quickly arrive at the archives of the present, and much like mentioned previously, there is a large doorway with dwarvish style giant runes on the threshold that read, "The present is like sand, ever flowing and escaping one's grasp without mercy or respite."
Okay. And I walk in.
So much the same. The records here are on stone tablets, crystal cylinders, crystal chunks. They are stored in a massive variety of ways, and they are in a variety of sizes and things of that nature. And they are stored all the way up the walls for distances beyond your sight, as they are kept in their Galabdur, moving about, shuffling things, organizing in some way that doesn't quite make sense to you. You are absolutely welcome to go through the records for anything specifically that you are looking for.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that friend. See if I could see him.
Which friend?
The Darrow that I helped escape out of the city.
Okay. You are going to need to roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Can't be that bad. Oh, shit.
How long are you planning to look?
Just like an hour.
Okay.
She'll get fucking angry if she has to look at books too long.
So
Maybe
you
30
look,
minutes.
So you look for roughly 30 minutes to an hour, and you start to, just by that point, you're starting to maybe find your way to the records that are centered anywhere near dwarves or Darrow. You're still looking at another couple hours before you even narrow down to Gracklestug or the vicinity or those associated thereof.
Can I just yell out to one of the Galabdur and be like,
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me?
The Galabdur stop before essentially telling you that you will need to speak to the librarians.
Hey. And I turn around and I leave. Go back to my room.
Nyx
that.
and Smoke are wandering.
Yes.
So I was gonna say, Nick's like, how long do you wait till after everyone like picks their rooms? How long do you wait before you go on your walk?
Probably not a whole heck of a lot of time. Like they would show up in the room, dump off a few things, look around, then just step out into the corridor and be like, "All right, I'm gonna go exploring."
Yeah, so Smoke would like walk out the exact same moment you do, probably, or pretty close,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, "Oh, would you like company, or do you want to go by yourself?"
Oh, well, company's always good in case we get lost or attacked or eaten or something.
Yes. Oh, well, let's hope does not happen. But yes, okay. I figured we'd check it out. Quite curious about well, everything here. So
Roland, are you staying in?
Roland is actually going to. I guess I probably could have done this beforehand, but if I notice that Nix and Smoke are going, Spirit and Dronga probably already left at this point. I will. Yeah, I'll just cast it on Agile Smoke and Nix. I'll cast. What is it? Enhance ability, Owl's Wisdom
Nice.
at 3rd level, so I give you both advantage on Wisdom checks
Very
whoa.
nice.
for the next hour before I fall asleep.
But you're not going with them?
No.
Okay.
Thank
No,
you,
I'll
thank
stay
you
in the
very
room
much.
and I'll work on my rope of whatever rope I was working on. The
Oh, yeah.
rope of climbing.
Rope of climbing.
That's right. I forgot about crafting.
I've been working on that for a while
Nice.
now.
So you make your friends more wise, and you head out. And you guys are not looking for anything specific.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Give me a wisdom saving throw. You can both throw it out since you're helping each other. At advantage, you can hold the control button to give yourself advantage.
Okay.
Okay.
Not as okay, but nonetheless.
So you guys wander. How long are you looking to wander?
What time is
Next
it,
one-
roughly?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, how
It's
tired do we
yeah.
feel?
You probably would start to. If you were actually out marching, you'd probably have another 30 minutes to an hour before you'd settle down for the night. You'd be scouting for a campsite.
Yeah, okay, maybe like just another hour or so for Nyx.
That sounds good, yeah.
Okay. So you guys wander a little bit. You do find yourself after a short time looking in one of the lower levels, though you don't recall going down any steps or descending of any kind. You're looking at a massive titanic geode that seems to be ebbing with concentrated phase res. And strangely, in a large chair near this crystal is a semi translucent 20-foot tall, lanky, purple skinned man with a wavy sword sitting on the ground next to him. It's almost a ghostly image. And he is reading a tablet.
I've been playing too much Elden Ring. That's maybe like a boss fight.
I see a wall of yellow fog in front of me, and I look at Smoke and I touch it. The Latin chanting starts.
God.
Nick, go talk.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, go say hi. Go,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll try. Nyx kind of awkwardly creeps up to the man reading and says, excuse me, hello.
So the man reading looks up, and here's that was not what I wanted to do. Somehow I drew a pointer on there. Here is a picture of him.
Oh.
He looks
Oh
friendly.
no.
Dun, dun, dun,
It is a boss fight.
And he looks up at you, and in a smooth, velvety voice,
Oh,
he looks at you and then looks over at Smoke and says, "Who might you be?"
Oh, well, my name is Nix, and this is Smoke. Um, and I was told to talk to you by Smoke. Nix nods a lot.
Says, "Well, please have a seat. Tell me why you are here."
Oh, well, you see, I'm here because I'm following the story of some great adventurers, but I don't really know uh, more than that, really. But also, it's because it's a big library, and I like libraries a lot. Although this one seems kind of strange. I wasn't expecting there to be no books.
He reaches down and picks up a fairly long, slender crystal. It's about 3 feet long. He says, "You require one of these."
Yes, I think, Horum said that, but we have to wait until tomorrow. But it's hard to wait, because tomorrow's a long way away.
The he gives out a chuckle before saying, "Pleasure denied for a short time is often pleasure more enjoyable when the point arises. What is it you are looking to learn here at the library?"
Nix, looks at Smoke.
I'll telepathically say to Nick. Eh, go right to the big point. The demons.
Demons? Oh, yes, apparently we're here for demons.
No.
Any particular demon?
Well, have you seen how there is a big one that's rampaging around recently? That one.
Recent is a meaningless term here in this library,
Oh,
but I am curious which specific large rampaging demon.
Why don't we start with Demigorgon?
was that out loud or
Sure.
in Nix's head?
You catch a real subtle, uh, slight widening of his pupils there, Nick, since you're close to him, before he uh, throws a disarming smile, saying, "Demogorgon is walking the plains in your time. That is
Yes.
for interesting times, I'm sure. What is it
Uh,
that you've learned about him? When
Wait. Quick question. In our time? What does that mean?
you
oh,
have just arrived to the library when you are correct?
yes. Smoke,
You
I think it has something to do with the fact that we can see the future here.
Yes and no. What you have to realize is a couple things. Firstly, these galabdurs and librarians are carrying on their daily duties as they see. They will not answer questions you do not ask, and they will not tell you what it is that they don't think you don't know. So if you don't know what you don't know, you cannot ask so that you do know. But having been here before, I can let you know that the library exists in both the past, the present, and the future. To me, you are ghostly images. I believe I heard that basilisk refer to them as echoes of the past or future. To you, I should probably appear the same.
Oh, yes, I was going to ask about that, but I thought it would be rude.
The library contains many echoes, some who have came before you, some who will come after you. You will see images of those who have not yet passed these halls and hear of their lives that will be coming in the future.
Did you enter the library via the Underdark, or at least from an underground location?
It it is not important when I am here. I am simply gathering information for my endeavors, but I am curious if you would consider it a fair trade, the information I provided you freely, to provide me information of Demogorgon, and I believe he is a demon lord, not a standard demon. And since you said demons, is that safe to apply that there are demon lords in your Underdark?
Okay, so we have a member of our party who's very smart. Okay, very wise. He says that if you look at time as a river, right, and then you see time as river and many paths, but then if you choose different path, river gets split many times. What I mean to say is um, I get the impression you might be from our past, and this by us telling you, um, this would be this could affect you. So I think it's best maybe not to do too much for your own good. Do you understand?
You're very considerate, Tabaxi, you are. I will recall your caution should we ever meet in your time. But I believe that will fulfill the value of this distraction from my research, and I bid you good luck in yours. And
Thank
if
you.
you do meet Demogorgon, give him my best. I do
Oh,
not believe we parted on good terms the last he and I spoke.
I choose to believe that's a good thing, I think. And, I'm sorry, I never got your name.
I have
Oh,
many
me
names
too.
across many worlds, but my most common is Grazit.
You spoke to Demigorgon?
He gives a kind of toothy grin with some fangs featuring prominently, but not in a attractive way. They're very flattering. And with as he's kind of grinning at you, he kind of stands up. As he's standing up out of his chair, apparently the location he was sitting was the area that was crossing the barrier. And as he stood up, he kind of fades away as his ghostly sword is kind of still ghostly laying there, and his ghostly hand reaches down, although his the rest of him isn't seen, and picks up the sword as it also fades, leaving that smirking grin lingering as he vanished.
Well,
You can catch the spelling of the name if you want it for your notes at the top of the image. I can resend it if you need it.
I think I got it. Like it sounds, right?
Correct.
There's
G
an
R A
apostrophe in
Z
there.
apostrophe Z T.
Yes. Um, well, that was a little bit ominous, but he does have nice teeth.
We must be very careful who. We should tell the group as soon as possible about these echoes. Who could speak to Demigorgon and not an immediate? Okay, so Sticks, I don't know if you know this. I call you Sticks. I don't know why. Next, and I don't know if you know this, but our group encountered Demigorgon once.
Oh, congratulations.
No, no, no.
No, but you're still alive, I think.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And the entire village that we escaped from, I presume, did not survive. Um, the mere sight of him almost drove us mad,
Oh,
and a few of us actually became catatonic at its presence.
oh, go
To
on.
you could not speak to demigod. I don't know how that is possible. Like even to have the ability to look and say things to it. Your
Maybe.
will, your mind would have to be very strong, and then the fact that it did not just immediately kill you. So maybe he is just full of shit. This guy said maybe,
Maybe.
or
Does
maybe he's a demon lord.
you see? That's what I was kind of thinking too, or at least, demon adjacent. Uh, does Nyx know anything about the name Grazit from
Give me a
this stuff?
knowledge check.
Right. Which
That
kind?
would be, let's do religion.
Oh, good. I'm proficient in that. I'm proficient in all knowledge skills. Oh no. Okay.
I was about to
Luckily
say,
for
and
you, it's
she
actually
rolls
not a
1.
small name.
It's a common name.
Well, no. If the name he gave is accurate, and from your knowledge, the visual description matches the name, Grazit is a very well-known demon. He is a former angel of the celestial host who fell during the wars, who became a devil, who became a lawful devil, who subsequently the only devil who actually became a demon and climbed to the ranks of the demon lord. He is known as Grazit, the demon lord, dark prince of pleasure.
Uh, Demon Lord, Dark Prince of Pleasure. See, I figured as much. That name doesn't surprise. Nothing about that name surprises me,
The
based
only,
on how he is.
he's had quite a few stories that go through uh, his major events in the past that kind of caught attention in the history books that you recall. Was he actually captured and imprisoned the goddess of wealth and merchants for a time?
Oh,
But
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
that was it.
Okay. Well, So, yeah, actually, if he actually is Grazit, that makes him yeah, right, that makes him a demon lord. Yep. He's the demon lord of pleasure, but I think that part might be kind of obvious.
Put a better picture of him, more artistically interesting, in the Discord.
Nice bracers, or should I say, facers? Haha.
Nice.
Okay.
So, well, I guess that explains how he didn't die. or go insane.
But this is where if anything he just said was true, ay, ay, ay. If he is from the past, and we just explain to him that demons walk our plane, like demon lords walk our plane right now.
Uh-huh. Well, the good news is I think he likes you.
Yes, the bad news is we might have just given him the idea to even be able to come here.
You know, throughout history, there's been demons trying to come to the material plane all the time. Like, Yeenogoo did that one time, and now we have Knowles. Um, i- so I think it's just kind of a thing that they always try to do.
Why take information by force when people give it freely?
Hmm. So I'm sure it's fine. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, just try not to think about the fact that we may have been somewhat directly responsible for demon lords walking this plane.
Yes, exactly. And let's just be very. And next time I say go talk, just listen.
Okay.
I will
Try.
do same. I will do same.
All right, you guys heading back to your rooms?
Yep.
Okay. So everyone kind of heads back, and I think that's everybody back to the room. I'm going to go ahead and apply a long rest. And you wake up the next morning. Everyone, if you wish to rearrange your spells, you may, but as I said, you probably won't be finding yourselves in any battles unless you start things. And at this point, you meet up outside and are ready to go.
Okay.
So,
Alrighty.
Are we going as a group or?
well, first, guess who we met last night?
No one good.
Yes, you're right. We met
Oh,
a demon lord. He's also in the library, but in the past.
that's not good.
Well, I don't think he can get us here, unless he's also here in the present. Anyway, we kind of accidentally told him that the demon lords are walking on this plane right now, and he seemed kind of surprised and happy about that. But I'm sure it's fine. What's the worst that could happen, right? I mean, the demon lords are already walking this plane, so maybe it was destiny?
Could have been. I told you it's dangerous to mess around with things of the past and future.
Well, we didn't know he was the past. He was from the past when we talked to him.
True. That's fair. I forgive you.
If we
Yay!
can believe him, he talked about echoes, that we were an echo for him, and that he was an echo for us. So yes, it's just something to keep in mind. We might run into more echoes.
Good to note. Whoever would like it, I can give a blessing to 3 of you.
When you're operating as a party, you do not need to make your wisdom rolls. The
Oh,
collective wisdom score is high enough to navigate without issues.
cool. Never mind. Well, I can still give you a check if you're specifically searching for something or.
If could you support someone who is attempting to do the actual research, make connections and whatnot?
Like if you're trying to investigate or what do you mean? Like trying to just put clues together?
I guess.
I can save it. I'll save it for a situation that arises.
Okay.
How about that? So what are we looking for first?
Well, we have to find that librarian.
Yes, first, yes.
That's
yes.
fair. Yep.
So you guys go in search of a librarian, and as you are moving, you actually find yourselves very quickly at a room where the door is open and a stone giant is working. Let me get you a picture. This is actually a picture of all three of the librarians. There are three. And you can take a look at the three stone giant librarians. The stone giants are roughly 15 to 18 feet tall. And when you make your way in, the librarian who you are looking for is copying down information. He seems to have a number of crystals around him, and he is copying the information he somehow is gathering you don't quite understand. And when you walk in, he detects your presence and looks up at you. Now, the actual synthesizer I have picked out is pretty clear on my end. If you can't understand it, just let me know.
Yep.
But welcome, visitors. Please come in and take a seat.
I'm not hearing a synthesizer.
Yeah, me neither.
That's fine too. He says,
It's
I am
super clear.
Ulthar,
Super clear.
the keeper of the past.
His name is Sofar.
Ulthar. I'm typing it
Ulthar.
now.
I definitely heard Sofar and was like, what a good name. Oh,
He seems to talk slow and deliberately. Harum said you would seek me out.
Next.
oh, we're looking for, information on a kobold named Kostrikis. Is that right?
And a few other things, yes, but good start, good start.
I
That
thought
is
we were
one of
starting
them,
with
yes.
that one.
Yep,
And then we were
that's a-
going on to the Darrow named Droki, and then after that, if we have time, we'll try to find out about the demon lords that are all over the place right now. But I feel like the Keeper of the Past might be the wrong person to ask about that.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Anyways, yes, we're looking. What specifically about the Kostrigus?
I think
Where
just
is the little dragon?
yeah,
Oh,
most.
yes.
I'm just worried if he's okay or not.
I am unaware of a creature by that name, but I do agree the demon lords are a concern. My primary job is to record history. I suspect the library granted you entrance so easily due to the seriousness of that problem. I will offer you a speaker crystal in exchange for you sitting with me and sharing all your experiences of the demon lord. And before you start sharing anything, he takes out a long crystal, and it is wrapped in a purple cloth, and he hands it to you. It is an actual item. I just put it on the party sheet. You guys don't have to all open it. I'm going to give you a quick explanation of what it is. It is essentially a 1.5 to 3 foot long crystal, depending on the size of the user. Yours is about 18, 19 inches. And it is a shard of quartz that grants you advantage on intelligence investigation checks while it is
Whoa.
on your person. The crystal has 10 charges. While you're holding it, you can use an action to expend some of its charges to cast some of the following spells. Speak with animals is 2 charges. Speak with the dead is 4 charges. Speak with plants is 3 charges. When you cast a divination spell, you can use the crystal itself in place of one of the material components that would normally be consumed by the spell. For the
Whoa.
record, those tend to be cost. Any material that is consumed by will usually have a cost. So this will eliminate that. The cost to the crystal is 1 charge per spell level, and the crystal is not destroyed in the process of that. And the standard recharge, you have a 1d6 plus 4 expended charges daily. Now, that having been said, in the library, it can be used to obtain visions in the respective archive, whether you're aiming for the past, present, or future. You will need to actually have the crystal with you, so you can't go about your business separately depending on what you're wanting to do. So while standing in the appropriate archive, for example, in the past, you can choose to receive a vision from the past, and you can experience one vision as a group per crystal per long rest. So you need to, choose those carefully. Archive at the present, you can choose to have a vision of something that's happening at the moment, and you can experience another vision with the crystal from the present until you finish a long rest. And of course, a glimpse from the future, 1 per long rest. So essentially, you get 1 from each. And while standing in the appropriate archive, you can ask a question, not a vision, but a question pertaining to the past, present, or future, and receive a truthful answer in the form of a potential vision or a straight up information that will be drawn from the archives. If the information is not there, it will not appear. So you can use the charges to confirm your suspicions, fill in gaps in your information, and things of that nature. But just right now, you're pretty much realizing this is going to take some days with just 1 crystal at your disposal. But that is how it works. And once that's explained, you can presumably repay him with explaining all of your experiences. Now, you can just say you explain all your experiences to him. You don't have to detail it if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think that's the way.
Yeah.
What?
Roland can do the explaining. He'll go through everything that led up to it and everything after.
Fair enough. Is there any question you guys have about the Stone Speaker Crystal or how to use it? Because I kind of went over it all fairly quickly.
I think my one question would just be, or just to clarify, perhaps, it can't like we can do this indefinitely.
Yes, but time is passing outside of the library
Of course, yeah.
Oh,
But just
how quickly?
at a normal pace.
Okay, that's convenient.
that's a good question. Okay.
The other librarians, Ermas, the keeper of the present, and Ustova, the keeper of the future, will also see you, but you may find them less patient than I. But I will relay your information to them that you have given me.
So we should start by checking on Ghost Circus, yes? And it's
Yeah.
also kind of a warm up on how to use this thing too, you know?
Likely the best idea, yeah.
Okay. After Roland relays the information, which I'm assuming takes a while.
It does.
Yep.
It takes a while, not for most people. It takes especially long for Roland.
Yeah.
So once it's all relayed, though,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are looking to go where and learn about what?
Maybe if we go to the present and find out what he's doing right now, because that would show if he's alive or dead or what, or in between or not at all.
It's a good plan as far as I could think of. Yes, Nick, yes.
Okay.
So you are looking to go to the archives.
You're looking to go to the archives of the present to find information about Coast Jerkis, correct?
Yep.
I believe
That
so.
was a very ominous
Yeah, I clicked the wrong button.
voice.
That was the Stone Giant voice, but such is life. So you guys very quickly, and it's very convenient with you all of you working your will towards one thing. You guys find yourselves crossing just massive distances in this huge library in a matter of steps, and it doesn't seem unnatural. Like it seems like this room has always been there when you find yourself back at the archives of the present. Now, walking into the archives of the present, you find yourselves in a situation that is unexpected. By the way, is the music coming through?
Yep.
Good, good.
We might have to.
You don't need it. It's mostly just background atmospheric music. But you do find yourselves in a unusual situation coming to the archives of the present, which you do arrive at. You walk in, and all of you find yourselves looking at another set of echoes. Nyx, you recognize Yi of the Society of Brilliance,
Yay.
and
Well, we'd all
he,
recognize Yi.
correct. You had a little
Mhm.
more. You had a little more experience
fair.
with him. He is a. He and turns to you, and next to him is a small kobold, much more finely dressed. You'd estimate probably somewhere between 5 to 10 decades older, but very clearly Coast Jerkis.
What?
Holy smokes.
No, it's Coast Jerkis.
Spirit's ears just like perk up and forward, and she's like kind of like, what?
Coast Jerkis looks at you
Yep.
with aged excitement. He seems much calmer, much older, and much more enlightened. He seems to be carrying himself with a little more reserved dignity. Ye, on the other hand, is looking at Kosturkis and at you in a confused manner, seeming walking over. The Darrow extends his hand and introduces himself as Yi, member of the Society of Brilliance.
Oh, I think we've already met. My name is Adranix. And you help me find these fine people? And then she goes
Yeah.
to shake his hand. Nice to meet you.
He
So-
looks younger, while Kosturkis looks older, and he shakes his head, saying, "We have not met yet."
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
We have, but we haven't.
Yeah,
It
don't fucking understand. What the fuck? Kosturkis? Little dragon? You're old?
Yeah.
How?
Well, you see, time passes, and then you know, you get older.
But
Have you-
in like a day?
No, over a couple of years.
You
the Darrow looks at Dronga and like kind of pats the air in a calming method before saying, "Within this library, powerful master dwarf, you will encounter echoes. You will encounter after images from the past, such as myself, who have been here and left an imprint of ourselves. You will encounter those from the far future, such as our kobold here, who have yet to be, but the magic of the library sends their echoes back across the ages. To us, you are echoes from the future for me, the past for my future fellow society member here, and to you, we are from the past or future, respectively. It is like communicating from opposite shores of a river, but the river is time."
No, fuck this river. Don't fucking understand.
So clearly, because you're fine. You live good life. Did you ever become dragon?
I don't know. Did I become a dragon, DM?
I was gonna ask that.
Unfortunately, no, but
Ah!
Oh, no!
Why would you bring that up?
Oh,
but
Because you
as a
left the party.
society of brilliance member, you do eventually gain access to spells like polymorph,
Mm-hmm.
where you can and illusion spells, where you can get as close to being a dragon as a kobold could ever be.
Until he true polymorphs himself and permanently sets himself as a dragon.
Dun, 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 which very well may be why he finds himself at the Gravenhollow Library.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yi explains
Also, I
that
thought you were dead. I'm sorry. I went
Oh,
back
sure.
for your corpses, but I thought you got eaten.
Well, we came to look for you.
Mm-hmm.
I even set out a bed for you.
Oh, thanks.
Are we
Fuck.
able to physically interact with him at this point?
no,
No,
he is
okay.
an after, or in Kosturkis' case, a before image, an image that is here before the actual Kosturkis is here.
Okay, so then regarding my actions that I posted in the in-game chat, I could just imagine Spirit just trying to like races up to try to pick him up, and her arms just kind of like whoosh right through his ethereal body. Like what? I can't
Kostricus
give
looks
you a hug.
very crestfallen. No one at the society gives me piggybacks.
Well, if our paths ever cross again, my shoulders are always free to you.
Okay.
He explains that he is attempting to learn the origins of his people so that he can fully integrate them into Gracklestug society so they may become equal rather than second class citizens.
Wait, I have a time breaking thing right now.
No,
oh,
please.
If I promise to Coast Jerkus, if he tells me how long it's been since we last met, if I meet him back at the library at that exact time, would I show up as my own echo in the future?
Well, not all creatures that pass through are leave echoes, and not
Okay,
all echoes show up as powerfully as others.
fair enough.
And
as
also,
this
you
conversation's happening, an
probably
older Roland lifts Coast Jerkus up.
Yeah.
And that it would require you to survive.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. Yes.
I just thought it was a really funny thought.
It was a
So
funny-
on that same instance, if Spirit decides that she wants to bring her husband and son back to Gravenhollow after she frees them, then there's no guarantee that they're going to show up as echoes either.
They may show up as echoes, they just may not show up to you. Not all echoes show up on every time. But we do have, as Yi turns back to his research, he and Coach Jerkus both start to fade. The echoes, as I said, fade in and out. Like it's like yelling across a river to someone else. Sometimes the sound of the river creates too much background noise for you to hear and see. See in this case, and you find yourself standing in the the archives of the present. I believe it was, or was it past?
present.
That's what I thought. And we have time for you to look for one specific question or vision.
Well, that saves us some time. We do not have to check on Coast Jerkus now,
That's true.
presumably.
I
Wait,
guess he did pretty well for himself.
Apparently.
Yeah.
but we could still find him, right?
Eventually.
Or
He
not?
did mention he never did mention if he
Yeah.
met any of us again.
Yeah.
Don't fucking understand the river.
Maybe our
Would
fates
it
have
help
yet
if
to
he thought
be.
of it as a web?
No,
What about
Maybe
a ball?
our fates are
Sorry.
probably yet to be written. No worries.
going to
I
picture
ramble
it as a
sometimes.
fucking act.
I would say if we hold on, do not hit anything with your axe, Gonga. I would say if we are in the room of presence, should we find out about Droki then?
We could find out about Droki. If you're really that bitter about him stealing your stuff.
I would just say that we've settled a few scores. We have some very large scores to settle. This is, I think, a smaller score that we'd still like to settle.
It's true, he does have some items that could be of great use to us.
I'm not even saying we kill him. I'm just saying we find him and sort out the original issues, you know?
Okay. Regardless, it's your choice.
Well, past that, what else do we ask? In the room of presence, asking about the demons. What did we even ask?
About the present, sorry, and the future or the future.
This is the room of presence, yes?
Right, yes.
Correct.
So what would we even ask for
About the demons.
I would think
I'd-
for demons we would want to know past how they got through.
Either past or future, like you said.
I'll
Yes,
let you
yes.
pick. You can get one vision from the past, present, or future for tonight's game.
Well, let's go present, and we'll you find out where Droki is when we can find him.
Yeah.
All right. So phrase your requested vision.
Is there a check that goes with this? Yeah, it's meta, I know. Anybody?
What's that?
Where the fuck is Droki?
Okay. Holding the stone speaker crystal, you attempt to gain some knowledge of Droki. And that knowledge of Droki is communicated to you in a strange vision. You are essentially overwhelmed by the quickly fading away surroundings, replaced with really damaged, and you're looking ahead at a settlement of damaged tents, crudely built shanties lining its irregular walls. They appear to be deserted, and there seems to be a lone human who seems to be in the center of a mushroom grove and a series of Darrow refugees. And this actual cave is about 100 feet long, and the Darrow refugees seem to be bedraggled, poor, starving, and among them, Droki's Darrow face is made obvious to you, and once you notice him, the vision itself seems to fade slightly, and as it is fading, one of the signs that actually stands out is a single name before you are pulled back into reality, and that name is, believe it or not, it is the Filth Riddens. It seems to be a proper noun.
Were we all open to that? Like, did we all experience that? Or
Every
just...
one of you. Indeed, it was all of you.
We have a map of the Underdark, yeah?
Yes.
Or parts of it at the very least, obviously.
Mhm.
Who's carrying that? Is that me? I don't think it's in my inventory. Is that just in the party inventory?
What, the map?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody actually holds it. It might be me. It might be in my bag of holding.
Like, does anyone know of this location?
I do not.
Am I familiar enough with it to know where it would be? 'Cause I'm from the
You
Underdark.
actually are not. You
Hmm.
unfortunately are not. It seems to not be a very well-known area to you, and based off of what you saw, it's probably because it is a very poor, almost shanty town more than it is an actual location of note. But you do have a name. And that will be where we end the game tonight. You guys will be able to get one vision from the archive of the past and one vision of the archive of the future prior to having to take a long rest. So, it would behoove you guys to think of a series of visions that you would like to get, or if you would like to go wandering the library, meet the other librarians.
Yeah.
At the start of next game, that's where we will pick up.
All right.
Shit. Okay.
Sounds good.
Now,
I
have a
already know
good
it.
time, guys. I will catch you next week.
Next week. See you later, guys.
Sounds
ya.
good. See you later.
Next week. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Take it easy, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.
Fucking.
Ah.